I'm going to do my talk today on saspiration. So it's channeling your inner sassy self to, live your best life, basically. So a little bit about me. Obviously, I was on Take Me Out last year. And then since then, I've been using my platform to talk about representation, female empowerment. And I've also written a book called A Little Book of Sass, which is loads of motivational quotes. And I've recently launched a website, theschoolofsass.com, which is full of loads of saspirations to motivate you in all areas of your life, whether that's, careers, lifestyle. And I've also got a travel section for when the world opens up, which I'm sure we're all super excited to go traveling again. And also, I currently am the co-host and producer of a relationship and dating talk show, Up Your Game, airing on Dash Radio. And so this is just a few of the press I've had and everything and publications I've been in. And okay, so to kick off the session, so being sassy to me is basically self-assured, spirited and bold. And I'm all about channeling your inner sass, to live your best life and stay motivated. Obviously 2020 has been a bit of a wild year. I know we're in 2021 now, and there's a light at the end of the tunnel. We're all getting out of there, but today I'm going to show you how to channel that inner sass and stay motivated and inspired for the upcoming year and beyond. Before we start though, I want you to think about these two questions on screen, just like have a think, and at the end we'll revisit it. So it's just, do you feel any barriers when it comes to reaching your full potential, and when do you tend to feel demotivated? Okay, so I know to me, goal setting is just really important. And I know it's like March right now, so you're probably wondering, why are we talking about goal setting? But I don't really think you need to necessarily set goals at the start of the year. You can actually set them whenever you want. And I think goals are just really important because it's a good way to inspire yourself, think about your vision and, how you want to live going forward and where you want to go, especially like when it comes to your careers and stuff. So I think setting goals this year is slightly different because obviously we don't have that, we don't necessarily know what's going to happen, although we do have like that light at the end of the tunnel, but it's just this year is slightly different from previous years, so to speak. So I think the main thing to always start with when setting goals is to kind of look back on the year gone or previous months and write down what you've accomplished. Because I think writing down what you've accomplished will show you that you've actually probably done a lot during the past year, even though most of us have been at home and stuff. Even things like, just whether you might be thinking, oh, well, actually, I have spent a lot of time indoors, but that's an accomplishment in itself, because I think like getting through the whole of last year just shows that you're resilient and that you can handle hurdles in life. So that is just an accomplishment in itself. And I think once you've done that, then write down a gratitude list, because writing down what you're grateful for, it's just going to make you feel positive before you actually begin the goal setting process. So I want you to really sit down and think about what you've done and what you want to do. So, you may have started a new hobby last year and that can turn into a viable career later on. And goals can basically be anything. They don't necessarily have to be career based. Maybe you want to do more reading, that's a goal in itself. So I think you should set yourself a target of how many books you want to read for the year and then get through them, and whether those books are related to your studies or whether they're just, just because you want to read more and expand your knowledge. It's really entirely up to you. I think another thing to be important is to just be flexible this year. You've got to be informed and flexible, because how soon we can go back to normal depends obviously on how soon the world gets vaccinated. So I think when you're setting your goals this year, just have that in mind, and then you can adjust your goals as and when circumstances change, and when, we can do more in-person activities, for example. I think it's also really important to utilize the tools that you have right now. So let's take the idea off. I know you're all in school and everything, but saying you want to go into media for your career, at the moment you can't do that usual work experience going into an office and everything, but you do have access to the internet. And there's so much stuff you can do on that, as you've seen what Vanessa does and everything. So whether that's researching into career options, what you want to do, or whether, you know, saying you want to actually go into presenting, then set up a YouTube channel, start a blog, just those kind of things are things you can do from home and you can do at the moment, and it'll all build up your experience. So then when you do go out into, when we are able to go out and do like work experience, internships and stuff, you've just built up your CV and, you know, your portfolio. And I also think goals should be fun as well. So don't go into it thinking, oh gosh, I don't really know what I want to do, whatever. Literally have an idea and just have fun with it. And, you know, if you don't want to just write them down on paper, create a vision board. A vision boards are really fun. I really enjoy doing that personally, just like cutting out images of things, sticking them on, or even just using like colored pens to write down your goals, like that picture in the background shows. So just a reminder that goals don't have to be set in stone. You can change them and check in on them from time to time, and then you can just adjust accordingly as this year goes on. So that's kind of the main bit about goal setting, which I do think I'm a firm believer in setting goals, because it just will give you that focus of where you want to go in life. Okay. So actually, like, staying motivated goes hand in hand in goals, because right, you've got your goals, but how are you going to ensure you stay motivated to, you know, continue and reach those goals? So I think it's all about like being motivated. It's all about your mindset. And I think in order to keep your mindset strong and positive, you need to focus on the positives in life. And especially now, it's just focusing on those positive things, like, you know, right, we're not able to mix and meet people close up, but at least we've got like social media, we've got, you know, WhatsApp and things like that. So you can still keep in touch with your friends, perhaps if you're not able to see them, or we're keeping social distancing and stuff. And, you know, things might not necessarily have gone your way, but don't dismiss everything. Just see what you can learn from the situation and then keep on trying. I think failure isn't something to be afraid of. It's a learning exercise at the end of the day, you know. And also another thing that I do notice when people have something, like saying you started your day and something hasn't gone right, then they're like, oh gosh, the whole day is going to be bad. I really don't think people should do that, because it's kind of setting the intention and the tone for the day. So let's say something great doesn't happen at the start of the day. Well, it's just for that moment. So you remember it's only that moment. Don't attach it to the rest of your day, and don't feel that, oh great, the whole day is going to be bad now, because it's not. It's just that moment. I think also something I find, especially now, right now, is just limiting social media usage and the news. I think obviously it's good to be informed and everything, and social media does have its positives, but I think it's all dependent on who you follow. So maybe go through your social media and follow more positive accounts, just things so, you know, when you do go on it, it's going to uplift you rather than making you feel bad, because you just don't want that negative energy. You just want to ensure your whole aura and everything is positive. I think something else that I personally find is really good to stay motivated is finding a hobby. And I think all the lockdowns and being at home and everything has given us a lot more time. And I personally decided to, you know, channel that into some hobbies, things I enjoy, whether that's art or learning a language, or like I said, reading more. It's just something you enjoy will make you feel motivated, because you'll have something to look forward to. And also you can do a hobby that's related, you know, to your career path, where you want to go. Like I mentioned earlier, if you want to get into media or you want to be a presenter, then you can start a YouTube channel and learn about editing your videos and everything. So that kind of covers up that hobby and new skill. So it gives you something to look forward to right now, and it'll keep that motivation going. I think also it's really important to acknowledge, you know, if you're not feeling motivated, you're not feeling great, it's fine. Everyone has a down day. No one is Superwoman, Superman, that they just continue feeling great all the time. That's totally normal if you don't. But it's just, you know, to acknowledge, maybe look at what's making you not feel that great, and then maybe write it down and then move on from it. The idea is not to get too caught up in it, so you don't spend the whole like week or whatever feeling bad. But, you know, like I said, everyone does have a down day. So it's good to acknowledge that, and not ignore your emotions. I think, and also it's good then when that does happen to then do something that you know is going to make you feel positive. So whether that's going back to your hobby or doing some drawing or reading a book, etc., it'll just perk your energy up. And something else that I really do enjoy doing, and I recommend everyone does, is having a gratitude journal. So every night before I go to sleep, I write down 5 things I'm grateful for. And it doesn't have to be big things. It can be little things like, you know, access to the internet, or just having, you know, just having like a drink of water or things like that. It's just being grateful for what you've got. And I think doing that at nighttime will just make you go to bed feeling good about things, and then you'll wake up feeling refreshed. And so basically, this is just some quotes that I really like. I think quotes and affirmations are a great way to ensure you stay positive and motivated. Whether that's listening to affirmations in the morning and starting your day with a positive affirmation, which can be anything, like something simple as I'm going to have a great day, because you've set that intention for the literally, I'm going to have a great day. So you'll feel like you are. Or it's just having quotes like this and sticking them up. And I think these ones are really important, because sometimes, for example, a favorite one of mine is rejection is redirection. Because I think sometimes, you know, you might think you want something and it doesn't materialize, but it's because the universe is sending you in another direction that's probably better for you. And when you look back on life, you'll see actually that was for the best. And another things are like, don't think you can't do it, always think you can do something, because if you go into a situation thinking you can do it, you will be able to. So yeah, I think it's always good to have a quote on hand, you know, to start your day and remind yourself to stay sassy. And yeah, I'm just gonna go back to the questions, and yeah, if anyone else has any questions or they want to mention anything about what is making them feel demotivated, and perhaps we can work back from there and see, you know, how we can tackle that. I'll just see if anyone has any questions. I'll stop sharing my screen as well.
Hi, Mira. That was some great ideas that you shared. That's wonderful. Very motivating, goal setting and staying motivated, and some really good quotes at the end as well, which I love the one, rather than think of what can go wrong, think of what can go right. And that's really important, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Because I think it's really important to, because I think sometimes we can go into a situation and we'll have that fear, and I think fear can put you off doing things, when the reality is a lot of the time the fear you have is really like small things that isn't going to materialize. Whilst if you go into something thinking, right, I'm going to try it, I'm going to do it, even if it doesn't go the way you wanted, at least you've tried, and then you can learn from it, and you've done it as well, so you won't always have that doubt in life.
Yeah, definitely. So one of the questions I was thinking, I haven't seen any, here, there's one coming up now. What do you do when you start doubting yourself?
So I'll have days when I'm like, oh, can I do that? But I think it's really important. I find what I personally do is I have my music playlist. I think music is really important. And then I also have my like quotes. So I'll look at a quote that'll perk me up, and then I'll have a good playlist, whether that's something like listen to Beyonce, or, you know, like how Beyonce channels her inner sassy fierce. You need to channel your inner sassy personality. And I think when you do that, then you'll get over your doubt and you'll just do it. But I'm also one of them that I think I look at the doubt and then I think, wait, am I doubting myself because I feel I don't know whether I can do this? And if that's the case, I always think you should do something and you should try it. And like I said earlier, it's about, you know, how you can learn from that if perhaps it doesn't go right. But most of the time it does. So just don't doubt and do it.
That sounds great. Someone else is saying how much they love the quote, rejection is redirection. So.
Yeah, that is a favorite of mine, because I think, especially, you know, as you're going to start applying to university, or whether you go colleges and jobs and stuff, perhaps you don't get the job or something, and, you know, it can make you feel down. But the whole idea is that actually, and when you look back on life, and I can, you know, guarantee this from my own personal experience, it's for the best, and it's redirecting you in another direction. So always go into it like that, and then see, okay, it didn't go right, but what can I learn from that for next time?
That's wonderful. Lucy from Whitchurch School, what things keep you positive?
Oh, hi, Lucy. That is a great question. So things that keep me positive, it's all again, good music, even funny TV shows that'll keep me positive. Quotes again. I love to have like quotes around me and just like positive imagery. And then on social media, if I find, I'm not in a great mood or whatever, I'll avoid platforms that perhaps aren't, you can't, control what you're going to see. But if I go on Instagram, for example, I always ensure that I follow like really positive accounts. So when I go on there, I feel good. And even I find Pinterest is another thing that makes me feel positive, because sometimes I'll just spend some time and do like a Pinterest board, like whether that's a vision board on there. That's another great way to just pet yourself up.
That's great. And it really is important to avoid certain social media, isn't it? That, some bring you up, but some can really be difficult to get out of your head. So it's really important to manage what you see and what you allow in.
Exactly, because with social as well, you can have a habit, you'll go on it and then time will pass and it's like, oh gosh, what have I done? And then you might feel, well, I could have done other things instead. So I think it's all about like taking the apps off your phone or whatever, or limiting the time. And like I said, ensuring you follow those positive accounts.
Yes, very important. How do you decide what goals you want to set for yourself? That's from Miss Wilson at JAGS.
Okay. Hi, Miss Wilson. So how I personally decide what goals I set. So it's dependent on where you see yourself and where you want to go in life. So thinking back to when I was at school, I had an idea of what career path I wanted to go into. So then I'd set my goals according to that. And then as I've got into that career, then I look at the next steps of where I see myself, where I want to go. So for example, let's take more public speaking. If I want to do more public speaking, I'll set my goals like that and I'll put it on my vision board, whether that's, brands I want to work with, etc., or just an image of someone speaking public. So I'll do that. And then obviously, for example, last year we couldn't meet up and things like that, so you couldn't do anything in person. But then it's about utilizing the platforms you have. So something like what Rockin' Your Teens have done, which is great, that you can do it all digitally, utilizing Zoom, then obviously Instagram, we've got Clubhouse now. So it's seeing, okay, you might not be able to do them in person at the moment, but what can you do from your home, and utilizing the platforms that you have there. But I think it's just important to see, really write down and see, where do you want to go? Whose careers do you admire? And then literally another thing, especially related to careers, what I find helpful is to kind of, let's say you want to work in media and you want to head up a division or one of the brands, then literally Google like head off, let's say like a Complex mag or whatever, and type in LinkedIn, and then see and check their LinkedIn out, and then look at their career journey and kind of see how they've got to where they've got to, because you can see that on LinkedIn, and then map out your goals like that as well. That's another good way, solely looking at like careers.
That's a really good idea. Yes, to look and see where people have gone. And if you want to get there, this other route might be one that you could try. It might not be, but at least you're exploring how are the many ways to get to this.
Exactly.
It's really good. So it's about paying attention, doing research as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, there's another question here from...
Don't forget to put your camera on. Great.
Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you've been enjoying your breakout sessions. I had a little sneak peek in some of the sessions. Absolute gems being dropped by our amazing workshop room host. So please give a virtual round of applause for them all. Thank you so much, Mira Sharma, Bissy Atkins, and Tende Chegwada. Yes, you ladies are amazing. Thank you so much for all that you've been able to share with our